anticipated matchups of the entire regular season. Two national championship contenders, each ranked in the top 5. Which side can step up and deliver on this big stage? Welcome to the home of the Oregon Ducks, the one and only Autzen Stadium. As we'll see a playoff team from last year, the USC Trojans, taking on the winners of 6 straight, the Oregon Ducks. EA Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler here with Kirk Herbstreit. Let's get this thing underway. The Ducks will kick this deep to begin the game. And here's the return from inside the 5. He's tackled at the 21. That's where the drive will start. They're going to run it. They make the tackle there, but a penalty marker is on the field. Let's see what that's about. And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the yardage. And this crowd coming to life here, trying to help the defense get a stop with the offense pinned back. Looking for a gap. It's Lee. All right, test the middle there, but get nothing. Kirk, both sides told us they knew this was going to be a challenge, the biggest test they've had so far this season. Good to see this matchup get off to a good start. Bodes well.
Chris, I'm just excited to see how this game's going to unfold. Both of these teams are going to be so fired up throughout the entire game. I think it's going to be a true test of wills between two teams that have performed as they're destined to be in that postseason at the end of the year. Great job here as a play caller. You come out in the opening drive, you want to establish a little bit of an aggressive nature, and you hit some big plays here downfield. Great way to start this game.
First out at their own 43. Suddenly they're no longer backed up at near midfield after that one explosive play. And now the handoff. Able to fight for a decent gain here in that running play.
It's exactly what you want to see as a play caller. You get positive yards to be able to kind of keep you on schedule as a play caller. That's all you can ask for. Good job up front and a nice run.
Dropping back, it's Fox. Finds his man, it's Jordan. Gets some space around the 30. Forced out of bounds after a big gain. This offense set up with a first down.
I would argue he's one of the more talented quarterbacks that we've seen the entire year covering college football. He can throw the deep ball. He can throw that touch pass and that intermediate throw. He can also show you he can make plays by buying time with his legs. Guy is the total package, and he's making his defense pay right now.
Here's the handoff on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Southern Cal. A horrible field position to start the drive through. They just march right down the field and get points.
Chris, this offensive coordinator deserves a raise after that opening drive. The way they orchestrated this inside their own 15 to come away with points, impressive.
BAT is good. They jump in front, 7-0. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. Fields it just outside the goal line. And they stop him at the 23. That's solid coverage. Tight end goes in motion before the snap. Handoff here from the shotgun. Solid run. They'll bring it down to the 28-yard line.
Nice solid run here by this back. Did a nice job of just kind of finding that lane, pick up some positive yards. They're on 1st and 10.
A gain makes it 2nd and medium. first and still running. Stop out at the 39, but good enough for a first down.
Nice job here by this back picking up a first down and living up to the legacy that they have in Eugene. There have been so many good backs. I mean, the list goes on and on, but right off the top of my head, you got to start with Kenyon Barner and Michael James and throw in DeAnthony Thomas. What a golden era it was for the Oregon Ducks when it came to running backs. They're still trying to live up to that to this day.
They stopped the receiver, but that's a solid gain on that play.
That's a good job here, staying ahead of the chains. Good pickup here on first down. The quarterback hits the safety valve that time. The big tight end. That'll bring up a second and manageable here for this offense.
And they'll run it out of the shotgun. He's got the 40. They finally make the tackle, but solid gain. Sets him up first down at the 33.
Just what a great battle here at the line of scrimmage. Good push by the offensive line, and the back does enough to be able to pick up the first down.
And the Ducks pick up enough to get a first down there. Looking downfield, it's Smith. Looks toward the sideline, finds the running back. It's a nice wrap up there by the junior. Made the catch, but he was surrounded, Kirk. Not much room to run.
They did a really good job that time of leveraging him out in space. I thought he might have a chance to be able to shake loose because he is so elusive. But defense, as you said, did a really good job in the open field surrounding him. Just nowhere for him to go to pick up any more positive yards.
Second down, we're going to throw it. And here comes a deep shot. Intercepted, picked off by the defense. Follows the pick with a nice return before finally being brought down.
What a play by the defensive back here. You have no idea how tough it can be and how slippery it is out there with this rain. The defense is reacting to the offense. The offense knows exactly where they're going when they're running their route. The defender has to try to be very careful to keep his footing underneath him. Sounds simple, but it's not. To come up with that interception while doing that, that is a big-time play.
Now it's second down here. They snap it. Quarterback looking to throw the ball. Pass tip to the line of scrimmage. That's a great play by the defense.
If that ball were thrown just a little bit higher, they could have gotten away with a completion. But great play by the defender getting a handoff.
Offense been in reverse here. Now a long way to go to convert this third down. Dropping back. We're going to throw for the first down. Quick completion to the tight end. And the defense grabs him after the completion. He's just short of a first down.
Well, they're going to come up short of the sticks here. We got a tough decision at this point in the football game for the head coach. What will they do now on fourth down?
The offense will take their first 10 out of the half to talk strategy here. Here we go. The coach rolling the dice. 4th and 1 in his own territory. He keeps it on the design run. He's not going to get there. The defense rises up and makes a huge 4th down stop.
Well, this is exactly what can happen when you're overly aggressive and things go bad. And I get it when it's late in the game and you're trying to climb back into it. But to have a turnover on downs now, man, this one could hurt you.
Tough running to avoid a loss. It just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage.
I things just appeared to be a bit out of sync from the get-go on that one. Give credit to the front seven of that defense for staying in the proper lanes and getting to the ball carrier, not let him dance around and make something out of nothing.
And the wideout goes in motion. Looking to pass. It's Smith. Looking to set up a screen pass here. And they bring him down. Blocker is not much help on the screen there. He's short of the first down.
Now the defense is getting pressure on the quarterback. They got a little bit fooled here by the screen play. Nice positive gain for the offense.
Quarterback in the shotgun here on third down. And a short pitch and catch to the tight end. That gain moves the ball to the 17. First down.
What a clutch play here by this offense to convert on third down. I know it's still early in this game, but the fact that they've dug themselves a hole to convert there and keep this drive alive, they got a new set of downs and a chance to dig into this lead.
So down here in the red zone, every yard tough to find. Here is a crucial play coming up. Quarterback drops back. And it falls incomplete. The defensive pressure hurried to throw that time.
It's pretty simple as a defensive coordinator. When the quarterback drops back to throw, if we get pressure on him, we got a chance to slow him down and win the football game. If we don't, could be a long afternoon. Good job here by dialing up the pressure.
Crucial. Third down coming up in the red zone. Can he keep the drive going, or will they have to settle for three? He's got it near the end zone. And he's in. Touchdown, Ducks.
This guy can do it all. We've seen him go behind coverage and make plays downfield. We can see him catch the ball underneath just like this. And when he catches a football, he is so dangerous after the catch. This one leads him into the end zone for the 6 points.
Good job dealing with the footing. BAT is good. And the kick is a square kick, taken by one of the up men. And he stopped at the 20, trying to make something happen, but that's good coverage there. Using his legs, it's Lee. They'll tackle him right at the 25-yard line.
I think this defense keeps thinking about them throwing the football, and by doing that, they're opening up running lanes. Good positive yards there by the running back.
Play action, looking to throw. Throws to the tight end. Makes the catch downfield. Tackle made after a nice pickup on the play.
They're going to pick up a first down. Nice catch, but even a better throw to show that accuracy and efficiency from that quarterback spot. And my gosh, they have so many great quarterbacks over the years that played at USC. Go back to Carson Palmer, the year he won the Heisman. What a brilliant career he had for the men of Troy. Matt Leinart, think back to those warm chow offenses and the championships that Matt Leinart won. And, of course, more recently, Caleb Williams for Lincoln Riley, running and throwing and making throws just like that.
And the Trojans lining up here on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. It's Fox. Lets it fly to the wideout. Caught over the middle. It's Jordan. They make the tackle, but the game moves the ball to the 28.
Chris, how about the offensive balance these last couple plays we're seeing from these guys? Not only are they balanced, but the explosiveness. A big run followed up by a big play through the air, man, puts a lot of pressure on this defense.
A new set of downs after that completion. Grab behind the line. It's Wormley. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain.
Well, this is what you love to see from any quarterback. He's not forcing or predetermining where he wants to go with the football. He obviously wanted to get the ball downfield to a receiver, but nobody's open, so he got the ball to the running back out wide and does a nice job of picking up a first down.
And the Trojans looking to cash in this red zone trip. From inside the red zone, they're looking to throw. That's knocked away. Defense makes a nice play. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks all over the country try to manipulate the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, I think he just telegraphed it to the receiver that he was going to throw to, staring him down, which allowed the excellent coverage to be able to knock that ball away.
So after the incompletion, it's second down. From the shotgun, drops back, looking for an open man. Makes the catch. Can he get in? And he'll be stopped just short of the end zone at the 1.
Gain of 16. First and goal, USC. That's the end of the first quarter.
We are deadlocked at the end of a fun, competitive first quarter. Let's check out the stats so far. And as we move to the second quarter, you hope these teams will build on a promising start. Crucial play here to begin the quarter as the offense sets up first and goal. That's a design quarterback keeper. No stopping him on that run. Touchdown, USC.
Chris, that's what I love about this quarterback. It's a great touchdown, but he shows you his versatility. We know he can throw it, but here he shows you his speed and how he can make the defense pay for that as well.
PAT puts him in front by 7. Kickoff team out there, they are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. He'll return it from inside the 5. And he's tackled at the 21. That's where the drive will start. And the powerful Ducks offense retakes the field. Offense moving receivers around now before the snap. Looking downfield, it's Smith. They get him down quickly, not much of a gain on that completion.
This is an example of a quarterback and his offense just taking what the defense gives you. Not a huge play, but positive yards. The defense wants to give that throw to you. Take it, get the ball to your receiver, stay ahead of the sticks.
Ran by the receiver. And the defense swarms, not much of a gain on that completion. Offense facing a 3rd and long from the 25. What's the call going to be? Moving the receiver around pre-snap. Lets it go quickly. Grab down the middle. It's Griffin. They bring him down, but he makes the 40-yard line. That's a solid gain.
Well, if I'm this defense, you get these guys to 3rd down, you better bracket or double team some kind of coverage roll to this receiver to take him away. This guy makes another big play.
Fights through a tackle. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Chris, I think we all kind of get caught up in 3rd down. What's an offense doing on 3rd down? But I think what's also important is how well do you defend 1st down. If you can hold your opponents to a short gain or a tackle for a loss, you throw the offense out of whack, and their game plan gets much more challenging to try to come up with that 1st down.
It's incomplete. That was caused by the defensive pressure, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a quarterback's able to recognize a free rusher like that, that's what the check down is for. He has to recognize the protection issues quickly and pivot.
So the offense getting set. This is not where you want to be against this defense. 3rd and long. Back to throw. It's Smith. And he's going to take a shot down the left side. Oh, downfield catch made on the left side. They make the stop, but it's a big play for 31.
What a pitch and catch by the quarterback and receiver for a big gain for this offense.
The Ducks keep the football on the move. He hands it off from the gun. They bring him down right at the 20. This offense set up now in the red zone.
Nothing better than an offense on 1st down to be able to pick up big positive yards like motion to get the defense to come up to the line of scrimmage, and you can throw it over top of it.
And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain on that run.
Well, he was close to getting to that corner, picking up some big yards, but the defense does a good job of getting him out of bounds.
Second down play coming up for this offense. The pre-snap motion from the offense. They flip it to him on the jet sweep. And he's brought down, but they went backwards after the completion. Good work by the defense.
Nice throw here by the quarterback. Goes with the touch pass, but, man, let's give credit to this defense. They are flying around, and he didn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
On this drive, they're 2 for 2 on third down, but this time they need 9 yards. Dropping back. They're going to throw for the first down. He's got it right near the end zone. And he scores. Touchdown, Oregon.
And I love running backs that can hurt you on the ground and through the air. The defense this time just underestimates his ability to catch the ball, and then the speed afterwards, it's a touchdown.
And he knocks the PAT right down the middle. And with that extra point, we're all tied up now in the second quarter. And that kick will just bound into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the USC offense back on the field. A little bit of my turn, your turn so far in the early going. Both offenses scoring touchdowns in their last possessions. Off the play fake on first down. Quick throw complete to the tight end. They bring him down, but the drive has now reached the 35.
Well, this is called settling down in his own defense, just kind of finding that soft spot. So not only does this tight end show that he's got great athletic ability and great size, here he shows that he understands coverage by sitting down in that hole, giving the quarterback a nice target, able to pick up that first down.
Didn't expect to lose 4 in the first down run. Set up now 2nd and 14. Scanning the field, it's Fox. Here's a throw underneath the tight end. Oh, and he hits out of bounds after a really nice game there.
Well, this is what coaches love to see. A quarterback with the ability to read the defense properly and then just get it to the open man. Sometimes it sounds simple, but it's tough to execute. This time we have good recognition by the quarterback. Then he gets it down to the tight end. You can see what he can do after the catch.
He's brought down, but not before crossing midfield of the 42. And the Trojans begin a new series here, 1st and 10. There's the snap, and he's looking to throw. Caught over the middle. It's Lee. Defense surrounds him. Just a short gain on that completion.
Well, it's one of the things I love about this running back. It's not just this defense trying to defend him running the football. As you can see here early in this game, trying to get him involved in the passing game. Great call.
Catch made down the left side, an explosive play. All the way to the end zone. They couldn't catch him. Touchdown, Trojans.
Chris, the timing between the quarterback and the receiver here is exceptional. Great route here to sell that post to the inside and then break it off to the corner. And the quarterback anticipates it well, puts it on the money for that touchdown.
He knocked through the extra point. The lead is 7, 21-14. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. He's going to return it from near the goal line. Not much on the return. They'll stop him at the 24. Good coverage. And the Ducks' powerful offense is back on the field. In the last possession, they really had the passing game clicking. Moved right down the field for a touchdown. Shotgun formation. Here's an inside give. The junior able to bring him down quickly.
Defense does a really nice job here of being able to contain that run game. Held him just to 2 yards. Chris, to me, this changes the playbook a little bit now for the offense. The guy calling plays at second and 8, that's a different deal. Now he's got to probably thinking about going through the air instead of staying on the ground.
Third down play, looking for a fresh set of downs. Back, in motion now. Back to pass. It's Smith. He's brought down just short of the marker on that play. Good job by the defense to prevent the first down.
Great job by this defensive tackling in space. They are going to keep him short of the first down marker, and a big decision for this head coach on whether or not to go for it or punt it away.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. Returner brought down. Sets up the next drive. So the first play of the drive coming up here. Under 3 minutes to play before half. On the ground, it's Lee. Solid game, moves the ball to a 43. We've reached the 2-minute timeout. We'll see if the offense here can build on this lead before the break. Second down after that run on the previous play. Here's the snap. Offense looking to throw the ball. Delivers quickly to the left side. He makes the grab. That's a big gain before he goes out of bounds. It'll move the sticks. More than enough for a first down.
Great job by the with an accurate throw against man coverage for a first down. Overall, by the entire group, good execution by this offense.
Another chunk play. This offense is really clicking. He finds some space. He's got the first and still going. They bring him down right at the 20. This offense set up now in the red zone.
Boy, how about that play, Chris? That thing just opened up. The back shot through there with great acceleration. What a pickup there on first down.
And the Trojans looking to take advantage of this red zone trip. Quick throw. The catch is made. The defense all over. They stop him right at the line.
Boy, these receiver screens, if run correctly, can be a big play with a convoy of linemen out in front. This time, just not able to get it going, and it's a nice job of the defense to prevent a big play.
But they don't make the connection. That one is incomplete. And the crowd coming to life here, trying to help this defense down in the red zone. Looking to pass. It's Fox. Quick throw to his receiver. Incomplete for a third straight play.
Hey, it's an incompletion, but it's a nice job by the quarterback. I know it didn't pan out, but the most important thing is he didn't turn the football over and he didn't take a sack. It'll give your kicker a chance to put some points on the board if they opt for the field goal here on fourth down.
He missed it. Off target that time. The lead remains at 7 after the miss.
That's a missed opportunity for some points here. The way they were moving the football, I thought maybe a touchdown at the very least, 3 points, but instead, he shanks it.
First down, looking to throw the football. On the move now. He's hit as he throws it. Makes the grab and keeps the foot in bounds. That's going to be enough for a first down. Great play. Quarterback sets up, looking for an open man. Fires it to the wideout. It's a risky pass. He gets away with it. Almost the second interception for this defense today. What's the play call here on second down for this offense? Here's the snap. Quarterback looking to throw. It's caught. It's Griffin. And this one goes nowhere. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Boy, they're just fundamentally sound. Right where you want to be after the completion. Nowhere to go after that catch.
On third down, he drops to throw. And it's intercepted. He stepped in front of that bullet. He could go. And he steps out of bounds. A solid return and a great play to set up his offense here.
Well, that's now 2 interceptions for this quarterback, and we're only in the first half. This is the exact start this defense was hoping for to create a ton of momentum.
So here we go. The first play of the drive, less than a minute to play before halftime. Back to throw. It's Fox. Bringing pressure. Not able to connect. Incomplete.
Boy, that pass rush got in there in a hurry. Great job by this defense of disrupting the rhythm and timing between the quarterback and the receivers.
Incompletion makes it second down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw it. QB to the tight end for a completion. Fights into the end zone. Touchdown, Southern Cal.
I'll tell you what, in this first half, this quarterback seems to be making all the right reads and showing the accuracy that he's shown all year long. Outstanding pass, great conversion. They put 6 more on the board.
But they'll try to add to the lead now with the PAT. With the extra point, the lead is 14. So the offense getting some momentum before halftime with the touchdown. Now they kick off in hopes the defense can get a quick stop. And he takes this from inside the 5. Stop at the 22. That's pretty solid coverage there. So they start the drive looking for some late fireworks here. Less than 30 seconds before halftime. Looking to throw it on first down. Pressure is coming. Takes a hit just as he lets it fly. And this is dropped. Would have been a huge game, but he could not collect it.
Well, they don't hit this one, but I love the idea of the offensive coordinator continuing to try to find the hot hand as a receiver. They missed this one, but keep throwing in the football. He's a mismatch against this secondary.
So second down after the incompletion. From the shotgun, here's an inside give. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Just time enough for one more play in the half. To throw, it's Smith. A deep shot to the left side. Wow, a third pick tonight by the QB. Minuta's going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it down to Kevin Connors with our halftime update. And the Trojans will kick it off to begin the second half. Kickoff out of bounds. The ball will be spotted up at the 40-yard line. Play action here on first down. Finds that big tight end for a short pass. They make the tackle, but not before a solid gain on that pass.
This is why running the football is so important. You run the ball, and then you go play action. It affects the eyes of the safeties and linebackers and frees up some space for the tight end to be able to pick up a nice gain.
Trying to find room. It's Washington. Good enough for first down yardage.
And that's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. Don't forget, good blocking up front by the big fellas. And this running back just seems to have a nose for that first down marker. A few more runs like this, he's going to be getting into the rhythm for sure.
He'll be smothered right at the line for no gain.
Well, the defensive line does their job eating up those double teams, freeing up the backers to make the play.
Getting set. Here's second down. Quarterback drops back, probing the secondary. Finds a receiver in the middle of the field. Make the stop, but a big play moves the ball to the red zone.
That's what makes this tight end so dangerous. You can flex him out into that slot position. He shows you his versatility. He can be an inline guy that can block, but here he shows you what he can do with his hands.
Snapping it from the red zone now, looking to throw. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. They bring him down after a short gain there. Here comes a crucial second down play. Every yard tough to find down here in the red zone. Heading for the end zone. Refusing to be brought down. Touchdown, Ducks.
Well, that's an example right there of what vision and patience and ability can do for running back. He was on a mission to get into the end zone, and really, he made it look easy.
And the point after gets him within a touchdown, 28-21. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. So no return on this one. Ball just bounces into the end zone for a touchback. And the Trojans' offense is back out on the field. Back to pass. It's Fox. And he dumps it off to the tight end. And the runner scoots out of bounds after gaining some decent yardage.
Just a good job of spreading the wealth, making sure everybody's getting their touches. When you do that, the defense can't lock in on one guy or two guys. Make them have to be aware of everybody, and allows you to continue to spread the ball around and spread the field, making it tougher for this defense.
It'll be enough for a first down, brought down at the 43.
What a great job to be able to establish some rhythm to an offense. When you can run the football like this, it just opens up the playbook. You can continue to run. You can go to play action. You really keep the defense on their heels when you can run the ball like this. Nice play.
On first down, they'll keep the running game churning.
Nice job here of controlling the line of scrimmage by this offensive line. The back does what he needs to do to get positive yards on first down.
Second down after that run on the previous play. Looking for a man. Over the middle and incomplete. They come to the line. A long way to go for the first down, but needing this crucial conversion right now. Drops back, looking to throw for it on third down. Fires it to the wide arrow. Grab down the middle. It's Fowler. That's enough for a first down. This offense set up in scoring position at the 40.
Well, this quarterback is unflappable. Here they are working with the lead in the second half. Get to a third down. You got to throw the football. This is where you trust the quarterback to make a good decision, an accurate throw. He does it. You convert, and you keep working that clock.
They get him down, but that's a solid gain.
Another positive run on 1st and 10. You know, it's early on in this drive, but this defense has not shown the ability to stop the run. If I'm the offensive coordinator, I just keep running the football until they prove they can stop it.
And here's the handoff. And the Trojans pick up enough yardage to keep this drive rolling.
Well, good push up front here in this back. I tell you, he's got some outstanding vision to be able to find those creases, to be able to get positive yards, and here he gets the first down. To throw, it's Fox.
Just flings it out of bounds, and the pass rush closing in. Offense getting set up. Here's second down. And he'll set up to throw. Caught over the middle. It's Fowler.
Quarterback looks downfield to make this throw. He wants to be able to get the ball to be able to pick up enough yards for a first down. But instead, he gets the ball at least underneath to the drag route and gets some positive yards.
And here comes the noise. This crowd is trying to inspire this defense to make a big red zone stop. Quarterback will throw it off the one-pass option. Ball carrier heads out of bounds, but the pickup is good enough to move the chains. First down.
Boy, this offensive line, you got to tip your cap. They've done everything you would ask of them in taking care of this quarterback. They do it again here on third down, working with that lead. You know the pressure's coming, and they deliver.
On the run, it's Lee. Run it up the middle, but stuffed for no gain. Coming to the line on second down. This is important. They want to avoid a third and long. Same tailback, another carry. Picks up a gain here. They'll stop him just a few inches short of the first down mark. Offense facing a third down now. They can still get a first down without scoring. Designed quarterback run. They finally stop him, but that gain is good for a first and goal.
How impressive have these guys been up front today? Big third down, know what you need to do, get the first down, continue to hold on to that lead, continue to work clock, and get that much closer to securing a victory.
On the ground, trying to power toward the goal line. Slams right into a wall. They got him for a loss.
Man, it's first and goal. You're thinking about trying to score. You're looking at positive yards, and instead, you're going backwards. That's going to set up a very important second down call here.
Looking for 6. Looking for the end zone, but not complete.
I'm a big fan of the RPO, but it is a dangerous play for the quarterback. You got to make the right decision. On this play, it just seemed like he was a little hesitant, unsure, and it cost him here with an incompletion.
Third and goal, trying to make it on the ground. Nowhere to run. They'll corral him for no gain.
Tell you what, for a tired defense that's been out on that field for a long time on this drive, what a stop there on third and goal. It brings us to fourth and goal. And as a head coach on the offensive side, when you put together this kind of drive, you're this close, inside the 3-yard line, you got to come away here with a touchdown.
You made it. 3 points on the board. And they add to their lead. You come away with 3 points on the drive, and now the kickoff team will boot it away. Return starts from inside the 5. And he's brought down after a solid effort on that return. Here's the first play of the drive. They start at the 28. And they'll keep it on the ground. Running back has the handoff. They break him down, but that's a good play. Moves the ball to the 39.
You know, offensive linemen are just a certain breed. They're always going to do their job, no matter who's back there carrying the ball. I'll tell you what, they have a little bit more confidence when the person that's carrying the ball can break off some big-time runs. That makes them block just a little bit harder, knowing what he's potentially capable of doing.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Tackle up near midfield at the 48.
Setting the tone early with good runs like this can really wear defense down and keep the defense guessing. That's why some of the best coaches of all time have primarily done it with great run games.
Quick pass. Here comes a jet sweep. He's brought down, but the gain moves the ball to the 39.
Boy, when you can rip off a huge gain like that on a touch pass, it forces the defense to be more cognizant of the pre-snap motion to the edges. Now the pre-snap motion calls should keep that second-level defenders guessing.
The Ducks with 1st and 10 here. Shotgun formation. Here's an inside handoff. 1st down and more. He's still running. They get him to the ground, and it's 1st down now at the 28. As we take a break to flip ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the current national rankings. 1 quarter to go. Let's see if this sets up as a classic finish.
21.
So here we go. First play of the quarter. The offense has a 1st down. Handoff from the shotgun. The gain is 4, so it's 2nd and 6.
Hat on a hat up front. Good job of opening up the holes. Anytime you can get positive yards on 1st down, that's a win.
2nd down after that run on the previous play. Play action fake. Looking to throw. He's running out of time here. Nothing open downfield, so he'll just throw it away.
Man, the defense took everything away from him. What do you expect him to do? He can't force the ball into traffic and potentially throw the interception. Does a good job of getting out of the pocket, away from the pressure, and just throw the ball away. See what happens on this next down.
After the incompletion, they'll face a 3rd and 6. Dropping back, it's Smith. Throwing for his running back. Dumps it down and back. Make the stop, but that moves the football to the 16. It'll be 1st down. Looking to throw it from the red zone. He fires downfield. Touchdown, Oregon. This air attack is still unstoppable. No surprise there, Kirk. It's a red zone touchdown to the big tight end.
Well, the tight ends are usually much more involved down in the red zone because of their size and their skill set. Allows them to be more effective down in this area. Now, they may not hurt you on the big, long throw, but they can use their bodies to provide the quarterback a nice target when the defense is so condensed.
This is a squib kick right to one of the blockers on the return team. After a very solid kick return, they'll tackle him at the 36. And the USC offense is back out on the field. The last possession, they had to settle for a chip shot field goal. Can they find the end zone this time out? On 1st down, it's play action. Quick throw over the middle. Catch made in space. Look out. They bring him down, but a big chunk of yardage on the play.
The defense is spread all over the field, creating some one-on-one matchups, and the quarterback makes them pay for it.
Fresh set of downs for the offense after that 1st down completion. That's reeled in. It's Jordan. They bring down the receiver, but that's a nice gain on that play.
Well, it's a game of matchups. Always has been, and it always will be, especially on the perimeter. And the quarterback believes his guy is better than their guy.
Gonna run it. It's Wormley. And they tackle him, but not before he picks up the 1st.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. You got to rely on that offensive line in the running game here to be able to secure a victory. Good call, and just keep working that clock.
Here comes a throw from the red zone. Not enough on that one. It falls incomplete. Incomplete, so it's 2nd down and 10. Looking to throw. It's Fox. Grab down the middle. It's Hoffman. Touchdown, USC. This offense really clicking.
Well, another touchdown pass for this quarterback. Multiple scores on the day. He is in total control of this offense right now, and the defense just doesn't have an answer.
So they'll try to add to the lead now with the PAT. Extra point up and good. A double-digit lead now here in the fourth quarter. Kickoff team out there, they are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. And he's tackled at the 21. That's where the drive will start. And the Oregon offense comes back out on the field. Pre-snap motion from the receiver. And looking to throw now on first down. There's a screen pass to the running back. Heads out of bounds as a short gain on the play.
It's a nice completion there, Chris. And this possession at this point in the game is critical for them. They've got to focus on putting points on the board right now to make this a one-possession game.
Stop right there at the line. No gain.
That was an excellent effort by this defense, just staying in their run fits, holding their own at the line of scrimmage, and then making a tackle. Offense just couldn't get enough of a push to get any yards at all.
Brought down, but it's past the line to gain. Starting a new series here on 1st and 10. And the quarterback drops back looking for an open man. The pocket breaking down. Swarm with a pass rush. A sack. So off the solid gain on the ground, they go back to the passing game but give up the sack that time.
Boy, what a big difference, Chris, between the run blocking we saw in the previous play where they got big yards, and here in pass pro, they just get overwhelmed by this defense. Great job of applying the pressure to bring that quarterback down for the sack.
Big dart to the right. Incomplete. They cannot connect on the deep ball.
This is smart defense. When you're trying to protect the lead late in the game, you know they're going to take some shots, get those safeties and those defensive backs back far, anticipating a deep throw, and knock the ball away.
Looking to throw it on 3rd and very long. Looking for his back. That one is incomplete. The defender was right there, and it brings up 4th down now.
Well, Chris, obviously they had to go through the air there to try to pick up this 3rd down and long, but when you're so far behind the chains, boy, you really allow this defense to dictate things, and it allows them to put pressure on your quarterback and can affect the timing, as we saw on this play.
Defense is coming after him. Another interception. Wow, that's his 4th tonight. Could take it all the way. The 30, at the 20. All the way back for the pick 6. Touchdown, Trojans.
Well, it's just something freeing when you have this kind of lead and you can just turn the defense loose. Getting aggressive pays off for them here. They get the interception, and what athletic ability there to take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. And here's the return from inside the 5. He's tackled at the 21. That's where the drive will start. And that powerful Oregon offense retakes the field. It'll be interesting to see if this quarterback can bounce back. He threw a pick 6 in the last possession. Moves out of the pocket. And he just throws that one away. Took a big shot, but avoids the sack.
Love the idea of the defense getting more speed on the field, whether it's nickel or dime, get as many defensive backs on the field as you can, and then sit back when you're working with this kind of lead in the 4th quarter. You don't want to give up the big play, force them to throw underneath, tackle them inbounds, and keep that clock moving.
And the Ducks will crank up the tempo. They'll try to pick up the 3rd down yardage on the ground. And he'll get the 1st down yardage before they finally bring him down. No huddle now for the offense.
You know, even though that these guys are facing a deficit, they're not just going all...
He cannot escape. It's a sack. 2nd down now after the sack.
Chris, I'm really surprised by the way this game has turned out. That's another sack by this defense. They've done such a great job of preparing a plan to get ready for one of the top quarterbacks in the country. They've kept him out of sync, applied pressure, and a big part of the reason they're enjoying this lead right now.
Didn't see anybody open, just throws it away. That's how I'm going to bring up 3rd down. Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a 1st down. Scanning the field, it's Smith. escapes the pocket. He'll try a pass here. That's reeled in. It's Washington. Defense wraps him up after the catch, but he's just short of a first down.
You know, it's third down. As a quarterback, you're sitting there back in the pocket trying to find a matchup that you like. Pretty much everything taken away. I like his thought to get it to the running back because he's a talented, gifted player, but he just could not wiggle free to pick up the first down.
The Ducks pick up enough yards to move the sticks.
Well, that is another nice run by this running back, and they needed every yard on that particular.
Doesn't get rid of the ball, trapped for a huge loss. Goodness, that is usually a drive killer. That sack makes it second down and forever. Wants to throw it. Receiver makes the catch. That's a quick tackle, but they pick up solid yardage on that short throw. Ninth play of the drive coming up. This is a tough third and long. Final 2 minutes as this offense desperate to get some points here quickly and try to stage a big comeback. Ninth play of the drive coming up. This is a tough third and long. Out of the gun now on third down. Looking deep for late game heroics. It's dropped. Would have been a big play, but he could not hold on.
It's just so hard in these late-game situations when you're trailing by this much to try to get the ball downfield against nickel or dime coverage. They're inviting you to take that underneath throw, hoping you burn the clock as you go.
He's brought down. A sack will end this drive. Huge play here by the defense.
Well, they just had to go for this, Chris. Pretty obvious. Not much of a choice. Down late in a game like this, you got to be aggressive. You got to take a chance. This was clearly just not their day.
Working clock with the ground game. Going absolutely nowhere. That would be a loss on the play. Well, they run it right into a blitz, and that linebacker was coming downhill, Kirk.
Man, what a time to call that blitz here by the defensive coordinator. And you're right, he shoots right through that A-gap. Really, the back had nowhere to go. By the time he got the ball in his hands, the linebacker's right in his face.
And that's a solid gain before the defense able to bring him down. They're backed up here, trying to make something happen on third and long. Play fake, looking to throw. Pulls it in. It's Jordan. And he's brought down at the 1-yard line. What a play on the completion. And that play should secure an upset. Kirk, this is a team that told us, forget the rankings. We're here to make a strong statement as we get to the stretch run, and they've done that today.
Well, these guys really looked apart today. Stepped up when a lot of people had questions if they could play in this kind of game. The answer is yes. Now they have to handle being that team with expectations. Not every team handles that well, but I'm excited to see how they deal with that in the coming weeks.
Second and goal, they hand it to him again. Zero running room. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, this next call is going to be interesting for this offensive coordinator. Nothing there on this second down call. Now you're third and goal right on the doorstep. If I'm the quarterback, I'm challenging.
Touchdown, Southern Cal. They continue to roll up the score.
You know, coaches love to see a football team that doesn't get caught up in the scoreboard. They're just out executing and doing what needs to be done. That's what we're seeing from this offense. Yeah, they continue to put points on the board and they're pulling away. I just love to see the execution and how they're going about their business.
And the point after is good. Fields it just outside the goal line. And he's tackled at the 21. That's when the drive will start. Offense out there to start a new drive from the 21. Motion by the back. Defense better adjust. Running out of time in the pocket. And it's incomplete. Just 10 seconds remaining now.
Boy, this offense has really struggled today, Chris, when it comes to throwing the football. They have dug themselves a huge hole. They're not going to have any chance of coming back. And I think one thing about this is you wonder where you go.
Looking deep down the left side. Incomplete with 4 seconds remaining. Time for just one more play.
Now here we are in the fourth quarter. The offense just trying to come up with something to try to spark this offense to give them a chance at a comeback. Unfortunately, the defense is playing smart. They're sitting back, anticipating these deep throws.
Looking for a late deep shot. And that's interception number 5. When will this QB get the hook? And he's just going to go down as the time runs out in this ballgame. Well, this was a stunner. It's going to resonate around the college football landscape, Kirk. This lower-ranked team came in here and said, give us some respect. And they went out and earned it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a bit of a shocker to me, just to be able to see this team get run all over the field the entire game. Just didn't show up. I don't know what happened during the week with the preparation, but this blowout, I think, surprised a lot of people around the country.
And that's going to wrap it up. For Kirk Hermstreet, I'm Chris Fowler. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.